Can you guys stop fighting, please? Hey, like, do you have... Seriously, it's too early in the morning for that. You guys woke me up with this play fighting bullshit at 5 in the morning. I'm over it. Go do it in another room. Now's not the time. Ugh, these cats, man. Alright, what was I doing? Can't even think straight right now. Okay. That's what I'm doing. One moment as I share to groups. I'm on a little early because I want to share to groups, so we start by 8:30. And if you guys also, any of you that are tuning in, good morning, Jen Nichols, how are you? Happy Friday to you too. Feel free to share out the broadcast if you'd like. For anybody that's watching and might be new to the channel, we appreciate any shares, likes, comments, subscribes, all of that stuff. We love it. Looks like I finally got YouTube up and working correctly, so that's good. That happened yesterday. That was a little bit of an accomplishment. I was happy about that. What's going on, Gus? Are those cats giving you a hard time now, too? They're being extremely obnoxious this morning. I don't know what's going on with them. They're knocking stuff over and waking us up at 5 a.m. Just not cool. Just sharing out to groups. Give me one more moment. I've only got a few more groups to share to, and then you have my undivided attention. It's been a good week. Like, I feel like it's been a very quiet week, but the cards have been sort of amazing. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens today. It feels like, even though I don't feel like I'm necessarily doing a whole lot, that, like, as long as I'm staying in a sort of positive frame of mind and feeling good about what I'm thinking about, that good things are on their way. Does that make sense, guys? It's sort of like, I don't know, what we're formulating, what we're focusing on now, we're sort of maybe bringing into being, even though it's sort of um, a slow period, right? So, I don't know. Oh, I should message Ducky that I'm on. She may not know. She gonna be like, what are you doing? Yesterday I watched this really strange movie called Midsummer. It was like this weird Swedish Etsy horror flick. It was bizarre. It was cool. It's very interesting, all about sort of pagan rites, rituals, and this girl that had lost her family and then went to Sweden to go to this music festival with her ex-boyfriend. I think it was. I don't know. It was just this very and it was a small Swedish village of people that were very much like earth-based, sort of Swedish Wiccan, weird magic people. It was weird. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but all of like sort of like weird Swedish craftiness to it all gave me this Etsy sort of vibe. It was really beautiful in some ways, and then in other ways it was really kind of spooky too. Um, so that's just neither here nor there. I'm just killing time while we sort of wait for the room to fill up. Good morning, Nate. How are you? On Netflix. Yes, Jen Nichols on Netflix. It was on. No, it was on Amazon Prime. So it was free on Amazon Prime. It's a recent release. It's like an art house movie, all about sort of. The ending is really strange. I don't want to talk about the ending. I'll let you guys, if you check it out, you can check it out your own selves. But it's just, it was this really. I kind of like the ending, and I'm not sure if my determination of what I think the ending meant is what the director actually wanted, but it's interesting. So you'll have to check it out. It's called Midsummer, like Midsummer, the Midsummer Festival, but Sommar, which is like the Swedish spelling of it, and it's interesting. It's weird. Amazon Prime. Jen is hashtagging her stuff this morning. She is like bringing it in. Midsummer, Midsommar. And so it was on Amazon Prime. It's recently been released, but it just got put onto Amazon Prime, and I was interested in watching it, but I didn't quite get around to renting it, so didn't want to pay for it quite yet. And so I noticed it had switched over to the Prime service, which I have, so I watched it for free last night. Yeah, exactly. Midsummer. All right, so it seems kind of quiet this morning. Maybe I'm on too early. I don't know, or maybe I don't. I'm not sure. Um, but good morning, Carla. How are you? Okay, maybe people are rolling in. I don't know. But we can just get into the breath work and get started. I think, if that works for everybody else. So let's plant our feet firmly on the ground, as we always do. We can imagine our feet chakras opening up and like lines of energy going down into the center of the planet, connecting us to the planet that we walk on, right? Bringing us into the present moment. Or we can do the same line of energy from the base of our the base of our spine at our first chakra, connecting to that chakra, and then bringing that line of energy, not following down with it, but just knowing that that line of energy is going down to the center of the planet and hooking in. You could even run all three if you wanted to be extra grounded. Now my dog is licking my feet. Gross, Gus. Stop. All right, so I guess he likes my grounding cord. It must taste like ice cream or something. Who knows? All right, so let's visualize that going into place and just sort of feeling that with our breath, right? Just take a few moments to just kind of settle into that space as people join into the room. I like to place my hand above my heart chakra, on my heart chakra, on my chest, bringing my attention back to my body, back to the physical present moment, right, that I'm in right now. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, deep into the belly, hold at the top of the breath, and begin to like radiate that light from within, out into our body, and then into our auric field, our energy field around us. And this is just a practice to open the doors of communication between the 3 components of who we are, our mind, our body, and our spirit, bring them into connection and sort of synchronicity with one another for the day. So let's take in that first breath. Inhale with me now. And hold. Allow your chakras to adjust and start to emanate that light from your heart chakra out into your body, all the way around your body. Let it just go where it needs to go. Release that breath. Giving thanks to the body, right? Letting all judgments drop away. Giving thanks to your body in this present moment because it's brought you all this way to this very moment. And it has done a lot of work. It's worked very hard, and it needs to be acknowledged, right? So giving thanks to your body for the beautiful sort of creation that it is, even if we don't fully understand it or always feel like we're in synchronicity with it. Allowing ourselves to sort of be in support of our body and in acceptance of our body, right? Saying hello to it. Even if there's discomfort or disease or anything that's sort of maybe, just not feeling 100%, that's okay. Just set that feeling aside and say hello to your body and give it some love this morning. Let's take in that second breath. Oh, and as we're doing that, let's look at the side of the pyramid that is representational of our body. I generally seem to put it on the left side, but I'm left-handed, so that's probably why I go to the left. But that my left side of my pyramid lights up as I say hello and thank you to my body. Let's take in that second breath. And hold. Emanate that light out to the outer edges of the body, to the tips of your fingers, the tops of your head, the bottoms of your feet. Let it fill your entire body, every cell. Allow any adjustments to take place with your chakras for ease and grace. And release that breath. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve us, anything that's not set now in the present moment, anything that we can deal with later, that we can focus on later, just letting it go for now. Letting anything that we no longer need go down our grounding cord, right? Giving thanks to our mind for the wonderful sort of problem solver that it is, even when it can drive us crazy with worry and doubt. Having a little laugh at it and just saying, thank you, mind. I appreciate all your worry, but we're going to be okay. We have the spirit and the body here to help you out. Lighting up that side of the pyramid. I generally see this as the right side of the pyramid, and I look at the line as the right side lights up. I look at the line at the base of the pyramid. It's sort of connecting the mind and the body, right? The bottom half of the pyramid sort of lighting up and connecting the two, and the two coming into appreciation of one another, in sync with one another, in gratitude and ease with one another, in support of one another. So acknowledging that and saying thank you to your mind today. Giving your mind a little bit of a break, giving your body a break, just letting it be. Knowing that it's like divinely created, right? Let's take in that third breath and hold. Allow our light to emanate out past our body, all the way around us into our auric field, filling our energy field around us. Allowing any last minute adjustments to the chakras to take place for optimum sort of relief and performance today. Releasing that breath, letting go of everything that is no longer serving us. Anything that's no longer in vibrational alignment with us. Anything we've outgrown or don't need, or that doesn't belong to us. And acknowledging the spirit, right? This is the third side of the pyramid, and allowing that side to light up, so now all three are connected. And as we do that, a fourth light lights up in the center of the pyramid. I feel like this is the emotional body. This is the emotions that communicates between the mind, the body, and the spirit. And that's the base, the floor of the pyramid that lights up, right? That's also a triangle in the tetrahedron. So as I'm looking at that and I'm allowing that to get brighter and brighter, right? I'm acknowledging my spirit, both all of the things that it does for me, seen and unseen. Being in gratitude of it, even if I don't fully understand it. Seeing the spirit is in support of the body and the mind and the body in support of the spirit. Seeing them all connected as one unit, working together versus against one another. In harmony versus resistance. In peace versus struggle. And just allowing that to be your intention today. Putting your attention on the idea of that even is powerful. And as we take a few more breaths here with this lit up pyramid, I take the pyramid in and I place it into all of my chakras, right? That I've just sort of allowed and intended to sort of line up for, optimum performance for the day. I trust my spirit. I trust my spirit's knowledge of my own chakra system. I just allow it to do the work. And I support it mentally by giving it that trust. And I support it physically by being in the present moment in my physical body without any judgment, right? And as we take that light in, that pyramid in and place it in all of our chakras, we're kind of like laying claim to the divinity that is us. in our physical body, our mental body, our spiritual body, and our emotional body. All of those aspects, even sometimes if we don't fully understand them, get along with them, we struggle with them, they are divinely created. And just acknowledging that, take a few breaths with that thought in mind. This is your birthright. This is what you as spirit created and came here to do. This is what we're here to realize, and a new perspective to live from. And as you feel that that idea settles into your space, set that intention and that idea for your day, for your week, for your month, for your year, for your lifetime. This is the connection we can continue to work upon our entire lifetime, and it will only grow stronger and more beautiful and more capable, and it will imbue us with more sort of joy, happiness, strength, power, appreciation of ourselves, and then those around us. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Good morning, Sarah Warren. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Melissa. I said good morning to Carla. Awesome, Jennifer. Work on your hashtag theories. Hashtag free breaths. Hashtag meditation. Hashtag whatever you want, my dear. Good morning, Kim. How are you? All right, so let's get to today's forecast. What does Spirit want us to know? What is for our highest good today? What is something that we can focus on that will give us the optimum opportunity for growth, appreciation, our highest good as a collective? What do we need to know? Good morning, Kristen Nicole Wilson. How are you, dear? So let's see what Spirit wants us to know for today, the 17th of January. We're past the mid-mark of 2020. And for those that are watching live and those that may tune in at any point in time in the future, what is the message for today? What is the forecast that we can all sort of come together? We all come from the same place. We all go back to the same place. So therefore, this forecast can come from that place and touch us in that way that we can all share it equally if we choose to. Om. Atta girl, Jen. Thank you. Couple things of note. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can at Engelgeist333. I'm not the best poster there. I need to get on it more, but I will, hopefully. But you can give me a follow there. You can give this video a like, a share, a subscribe. You can go over to YouTube if you're watching me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That all helps me. Even if you do generally watch on Facebook, any subscriptions help. Hitting the thumbs up sign also helps in a big way. It helps Facebook to see that I'm producing content that people want to see and that they're enjoying, and therefore it goes out to more people. So that's what I believe. So please do that if you feel so inclined. Good morning, Mary. Good morning. I said good morning to Taylor. All right, so let's see what the card is for today. I'm going to switch the cameras, guys. Interesting. We've had this card before, like earlier in the month. So, hey, Janet Moore at Clifton. How are you? I'm going to switch cameras. So this is the Eight of Swords, guys. Let me center that a little bit. The Eight of Swords has been with us before, and again, oh, whoops, wrong camera, wrong button. The Eight of Swords, to me, is about balance. Eights are always infinity symbols. Fours are about stability. Eights, to me, become about balance. To me, I love this card because it feels like our own mental acuity or our own mental prowess, our strength, sort of being centered in that or balanced in that no matter what is going on around us. These could be the thoughts of others coming in at us, the opinions of others. We can sort of acknowledge them and see that they're there. Some of them may not be quite so friendly, and some may, they might be slightly critical or whatever, but we don't necessarily, I don't feel as though these two swords, which feel like us connecting maybe to our higher mind or to our higher self, and grounding that with this lower sword mentally, like grounding who we are and really owning who we are. and understanding who we are. We don't necessarily have to allow these thoughts in to sort of penetrate our space, right? Another thing I am going to say, and I'm getting this vibe again, with this blue ribbon wrapping around it, it always brings me to this place of Mother Mary. I'm not exactly sure why, but this card gives me this Mother Mary vibe. So I am going to say, again, and I can't remember, when did this Eight of Swords come in? Because there was a great... Oh, that video might be lost on YouTube, I'm not sure. But anyways, what I want to say about this blue energy here is this is an energy that we can call upon. This is an energy within us. This could be the energy of certainty. This could be the energy of Mother Mary. But this is a nurturing, compassionate energy. Either way that we sort of farm it or bring it into our space. If we're bringing it from our own higher self, or from, say, the Ascended Master Mary, where we ask her to come in and bring her sort of divine feminine energy in to wrap us in that peace today. This blue has a peace to it, it has a calmness to it, it has a centeredness to it. And it's also sort of what will protect us from, not that we need protection per se, but it sort of grounds us and brings us this ability to see the thoughts of others, or see maybe the criticisms or the ideas of others, and we don't necessarily have to give up our own awareness or our own mental strength to accommodate for that, right? To me, this is about calming energy, calming mental energy, bringing ourselves sort of peace and compassion, and tying ourselves, like, how do I want to say this? Like, this ribbon feels to me like this is our higher self and our more physical self kind of tying together at a mental level and really becoming centered in our world, really becoming stronger and more peaceful in our world mentally, right? Because this is a swords card in the element of air. So keep that in mind today. The previous reading where I did this card showed up and Mary was so sort of present in this energy. For those of you that aren't religious or don't feel comfortable calling her in, that's fine, you don't have to. This can be an energy within you that you can sort of bring forth from your own spirit. But the idea is to keep a sense of calm about you, keep a sense of peace about you, keep a sense of compassion towards yourself, especially mentally today, and allow that to sort of strengthen your mind and allow you to sort of stay centered as maybe other ideas, perceptions, thoughts come at you, right? And I don't mean come at you in a bad way. I don't want people to be on sort of the offense or worried that, oh God, what's going to happen today? It's not about that. Because even when I look at these three swords here and these three swords here, the opinions of others, they're still coming at us in a rather balanced way. Or maybe it's what it is that we're so balanced that even whatever sort of life throws at us today, we can handle mentally because of this sort of strength and this empowered feeling that I get from this card, right? Because we're sort of focused on that peace, on that grace, on that sort of ease that I see in that blue ribbon. And we sort of wrap ourselves in that mentally and allow ourselves to have that, provide ourselves with that strength. Not walking around saying, oh, I don't know. Not walking around saying, oh, I can't figure this out. Knowing that we're okay today and that we can handle this. That's really the focus, I feel like, of this card. For those of you that are comfortable bringing in the energy of Mother Mary, she's a powerful energy. Bring her in. I love this. I love that we have the blue and then we have the pink. So this is number 2, which I love twos, right? Twos to me are always about sort of couplings, strengthening of one's relationship to oneself, strengthening of one's sort of relationship to maybe a significant other, be it a friend, a loved one, a romantic partner, a family member. But whatever it is, to me, I feel like this is sort of us finding that within ourselves. That's also this ribbon that I see here. This is that strengthening too, right? Where we feel like we're bringing down this higher awareness and connecting it to our more physical self and imbuing that or wrapping that in this peace and this love and this compassion. So this I am free is something to focus on today. It says, I release myself from the thoughts and feelings that have held me back. Okay, and we're talking about this balance of the mind here in the Eight of Swords. Any guilt, shame, embarrassment, self-doubt, and fear that I harbor, I release. Today, I am free. I love this because first off, I gotta say, color-wise, this is like doing it for me with this mauve color here. This is the gay in me for sure. But this mauve color coupled with this blue, I'm like, oh, I want to repaint my bedroom.
Um, but I have to say that it's very soft. It's very like tonally like peaceful and healing, right? There's a certainty in this blue, and then there's a healing in this sort of pink mauve color that to me is beautiful. We're trusting our intuition, which also is more feminine in nature here. There's a focus on the moon here, and allowing ourselves to release anything that in our mind maybe is no longer serving us. That could be these six swords, right? That could be these ideas of guilt, shame, embarrassment, self-doubt. These could be things that not only we've created in our life and in our mind, but these could be things that others have helped us to create by having perceptions of us that we've maybe adopted. And it's time to sort of shore up ourselves, heal ourselves, get certain about what we know to be true about ourselves, and own that and let go of these other opinions that are around us, or even, these outside situations that maybe affected our opinion of ourselves. Today's a good day to sort of free ourselves from that, really sort of calm ourselves down into the space of getting centered and grounded and owning our mind at a level that really allows us to find appreciation for it, to find strength within it, to find peace within it, and to realize that we are free. We get to let ourselves off the hook today. We get to be as free as we want to be and as connected to ourselves mentally as we choose to be. The choice is ours. Okay, so this is on malachite, and malachite is a green stone, which to me is associated with the heart chakra. Let me see here. I also sometimes associate malachite with like communication in a way, but this could be communication from the heart. But this touch to me, it's making me think of like, I don't know, touching the more sensitive parts of ourselves, and doing that from a mental space of strength and clarity and peace today. This idea of I am free also brings me to this idea of touch. To me, this stone, this grounding stone here, feels very gentle today. We want to sort of like all three of these components here are giving me a very, between the pink in this card and the blue ribbon and this green stone, it's giving me a very sort of softness that we should handle ourselves with today. There is a strength here, there is a centeredness, there's a strength also in this I am free. There's also a strength in the green, which makes me think of the strength of our heart or our heart chakra. But touch on the things that we sort of maybe need to let go of. We don't have to like drown ourselves in them, right? This touch to me feels soft. This I am free, like any guilt, shame, embarrassment, self-doubt, or fear that I harbor, I release. We're allowed to just sort of touch on it, acknowledge it, and then let it go, right? We don't have to like get bogged down in it, sucked into it, become a victim to it, sort of our worry around it, our self doubt. We're stronger than that, we're more centered than that, we're more at peace than that. And if we can't find that peace within ourselves, today this card says to me that we can, right? We can give ourselves that peace. But if we feel as though we can't, or we're feeling a little sidetracked, call in that energy of Mother Mary and have her balance you out so that you can touch base with your heart and sort of what's going on, and you can touch base with those things that maybe have made you feel embarrassment, guilt, shame, self-doubt, whatever those emotions were, and let them go today, right? Like we don't have to harbor them and keep them mentally in our space and operate from that place today. Today we can not only sort of lightly touch on those things and then release them, but we also, from that, the word touch is also taking me to this place of when we do that, we do actually do that release work, we get to touch new aspects of ourselves. We get to find new awarenesses of our sense of self and bring that in and sort of connect to that. That's also the two that we see here in this I am free card. This trusting of our intuition, trusting of our heart, trusting of our mind, and sort of bringing that about today. So, Jen says this is beautiful. I sent some Freebird on the shuffle playlist today. I'm all for that. Carla Dupe says we are all growing, we are all leaving up, push forward, don't give up, we've got this as a collective, and I believe that, you guys. I really do believe that. Mary Lyman says spot on, thank you. Jeanette Taylor says I'm finding binaural beats to be helping me a little at a time, a lot of inner work going on to rise our vibration. I think that this is, and I have to say this is a very peaceful vibe today. Right? We can have a raised vibration. We don't have to be like at manic joy all the time to be at a high vibration. We can be centered, grounded, and peaceful, and sort of not. Do you understand what I mean? Like, let me switch cameras. Sometimes I think that everybody thinks high vibe is like, oh yeah, let's do this, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that is high vibe. But there's a way to be high vibe and just be centered and at peace. Look at a Buddhist monk, right? Look at I mean, I don't want to bring like organized religion into this, but there are sort of priests that, you know, are doing really good work in the name of sort of God, and they are high vibe, yet you don't see them like, you know, skipping down the street, right? These three symbols today, right? This Eight of Swords, this I am free, and this touch says to me that we can find a high vibration in just sort of going inward and finding more peace for ourselves. Peace is an extremely high vibration. It's not something that a lot of us can, how do I want to say? I don't want to say master, because I think that we can all master that. But it's not something that we all operate at all the time. We're not taught that in the world today. I mean, if you look at the world even on a global scale, right? Media-wise, all of that sort of stuff, it sort of undermines our peace. But peace is a very high vibration, but it's not like that. And I don't necessarily aspire to that, because that is sort of like sugar high, unattainable, like how do I want to say? It sort of feels to me like when we turn to, like, I do this, I'm guilty of it every morning, I turn to coffee to wake me up, right? So when I'm on a high vibe because something really good's going, that's great, but that is not necessarily as sustainable, right? Those are like peaks that we hit high vibe, right? And they're great, and they're great for manifesting and all of that. But my goal is to more find a higher vibration when I'm at peace and alone with myself, or sort of focused on myself. Does that make sense? And I feel like that's what these cards are today, or this grounding stone is today. Is how do we acknowledge, free ourselves, mentally acknowledge ourselves, strengthen ourselves, come at ourselves with a sense of compassion and peace, and touch on those things from a heart space, and realize that, oh wow, this is also high vibration, right? This is also, this is kind of, to me, this is a sustainable vibration. This is about a knowing versus an outside event that makes us feel better about ourselves temporarily, right? Does that make sense? I'm hoping I'm making sense. So today is really about adopting that, acknowledging that, creating that for yourself. Like I said, there's been some really interesting cards this week. I really feel like it may not feel like we're doing a whole lot because it's a quiet time of year, and it really is sort of this winter period where we are to go inward and connect with ourselves in this way. But as we do this, we start to open doors and begin sort of routines or paths that we can follow throughout the rest of the year, that will sort of lead us to places that we don't necessarily expect, or we might be pleasantly surprised by, right? So the work that we're doing now, although it may be subtle, it feels significant, right? So keep that in mind today as you guys free yourself, and be gentle with yourself. That touchstone, to me, it being on Malachite and it's saying touch, it just feels like we want to just sort of connect with here, and then bring that connection to here, and sort of, you know, acknowledge the two and let them be. Does that make sense? Carla Deep says, I think of it more of a feeling within, not jumping up and down. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm all for having a great time and laughing your ass off, and that is high vibration, right? But there's also times where I need to come into the idea that just being centered, grounded, and at peace is a very high vibration. It may not feel like all buzzy, like, you know, 6 cups of coffee and 82 pounds of sugar. Which, trust me, sometimes I use those things to get to a high vibration. But there are different types of vibrations, right? And so I think sometimes we don't acknowledge things like peace or ease as high vibration when they are. You know, I think we associate them more with like boredom, or we fear them. Like, oh my God, if I actually became peaceful, then what would I do? Because this is not a society where we're taught to attain to that or to aspire to that. But I think that that peace, like a Buddhist monk is a great example, because when you look at how sort of grounded they are and how sort of centered they are, yet they're not like, "Rah!" There's no judgment of themselves or others. There's just this beauty there, like that. That's what I aspire to, right? I mean, yes, I want the spikes here and there and the fun, but I feel like today is about finding that freedom within, touching on that and giving it to yourself. Keeps the energy vampires at bay, Jeanette Taylor says. You certainly can when you're at that place of peace and centeredness and you know who you are. You've freed yourself and you're sort of, not allowing that kind of energy in. All right, so I am going to say that I'm going to go spray myself with some Mother Mary today, just for the heck of it, because I feel like her energy is here. She's to be called on today. For those of you that are comfortable doing that, remember, just because Mother Mary is in the Bible, and some of us have preconceived notions about religion. I certainly do as a gay man, because I was told my whole life God doesn't love me. So I work on that relationship now as an adult, because that's my responsibility. But what I do want to say is that aside from the Bible and the religious, sort of organized religious teachings, Mother Mary as an energy or as an idea, let's say that if she didn't even really exist, and I don't want to say that she did or didn't, but let's say for those of you that might be more atheist or uncomfortable with religious things, the idea and concept of that sort of divine feminine power, the trust, the sort of her role in our sort of human history is pretty amazing. And that as an energy, I do believe does exist, right? Because we, through either religion or whatever, she has made it through the generations. The idea of her, the concept of her. So there is an energy there, and that's the energy that I say you tap into today, right? It's that sort of grace, that peace, that compassion, that trust. And I'm talking about trust in ourselves, guys. That sort of, I mean, we're talking about a young girl who was, the story goes that she was immaculately conceived a baby, and then had to travel across a desert on a sort of notion, on a psychic sort of intuitive notion that she needed to carry this baby, and had it, in a manger in the middle of nowhere. 3 wise men show up, and this is the story that we're told, and whether it's true or not, if it is true, this woman was pretty incredible. She was young at the time, right? So she is the essence of divine feminine. And I know I have a lot of female viewers, so I say embrace that, right? You don't have to embrace the religious part of it, but that divine feminine is kind of within you. I believe, this is just my personal belief, y'all can poo-poo it as much as you want, but I believe that essence is kind of in all female DNA. I want to believe that, right? I want to believe down at the very core of our beings we have access to vast amounts of knowledge. We're just in a sort of playground, let's say, this 3D universe that has so much of our attention pulled in so many different directions that we can't necessarily always access it as freely as we would like. But I think that that's changing. I hope that that's changing. And so, just thoughts for the morning. Enjoy your day. Go out, be free, touch base with your heart, and all the things that, and communicate from that place too, because I also feel like not only does it make me go to the Malachite makes me go to the 6th chakra, or not the 6th chakra, I'm sorry, the 4th chakra, which is the heart, but I also feel like Malachite sometimes also is the 5th chakra, which is communication, clear, like heart-centered communication. So communicate that way to yourself. And then if you feel safe enough, communicate that way to those around you. See how it works. All right, you guys. So, Jeanette Taylor says, I feel her just now, got warming chills. Exactly. She will come. She's associated with roses too, you guys. That's why I always talk about roses. I think roses, Saint Teresa of Avila is also associated with roses. But I think that some of these more religious figures, I think that there's beauty to all of their stories and to their energies and to their existence. I think that it's been a little bit warped through organized religion over the years to control man through fear. And that's the part that I think is a bummer. But I do think that there's significance to these things. you know. But that's my perception of things. You guys find your own connection and perception. Okay? I don't want to influence that in anybody or make anybody uncomfortable. I wouldn't call myself a religious person per se, but do I believe that Mother Mary existed? Yeah. And do I feel like I can call her in at any point in time and need to at times? Totally. Do I think that she is about this energy of freedom, you know, love and compassion and all of that? Yes. So just think about that and remember that you guys, as women, I believe this, as women, I mean, not just as women, I think men are connected to Mother Mary too. I mean, she birthed the Christ, right? So she was connected to male energy as much as she was female energy, but I feel like in females, in female bodies with feminine vibrations, you guys can tap into it way much easier. And it's a part of the DNA. That's my feeling on it. But I think that's kind of with all the Ascended Masters, we can all like call upon who we want. And check out your Ascended Masters. You know, there's a lot of amazing people throughout history, and some of them are not actually historic. I don't know. Like some of them, I don't know if it's historically accurate that they actually existed, but their energies are there, and you can check them out and call upon them in different situations. All right, you guys. I will talk to you all tonight. Actually, it's Friday night, so tonight is the Charming. So we will be doing that tonight if you want at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. I don't have any reservations. If anybody wants to reserve, use this Engelgeist link that I'm going to type into the chat. You can send over $25 and get a Charming. If you don't have... if I don't have any reservations, I still will come on and see what's going on. People can buy Charmings in the moment, but if I don't have any reservations, I may not stay on. So we'll see what happens. But just letting you guys know that. So reservations are always like, what's the word? Preferred or suggested, at least to start it off, like, you know, with a name or two. Beyond that, if you guys want a private reading, you can look at my videos in the description boxes on YouTube or message me at the Facebook business page, and I can tell you answer any questions that you may have in regards to that. Like, share, follow, subscribe, and I will see you guys all later tonight, and then again tomorrow morning for the Sunday forecast. No, Saturday forecast. It feels like a Saturday already. It's only Friday. All right, so have a great day, you guys, and enjoy today. Go out. It's a beautiful day to sort of center ourselves and let go of some stuff. All right, I will see you all soon. All right, bye-bye.